in training. He finds joy in training, enabling and learning the process. For him, training is a passion. He has rich experience of over 10 years in coaching, mentoring, and molding of people and shaping their personality. He was the runner of International Speech Contest in the year 2001. He was a district runner of District 82 from 2013 to 2014. He was the region advisor of Region 13 in the year 2017 to 18. He is here to share with us his skills and expertise on how to maneuver mentoring for both the mentors and the mentees. I would like to request DTM Kumaran Pethi to carry forward the session, and I request every one of you to welcome him with a big round of applause, and please show your emotions through the emoticons here.
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening, sir.
Only Arjun sent a love mark and others didn't do anything. My good friend Narayan is there. The great lady Vanitha Rangarajan is there. I'm so happy to see them. Anita, Naina, I know a few people. Thank you for making to the session. Well, having said this, I do seem to have a connection lag here. Sometimes, if you do not hear me, that will be the best part of the training. So do not fret about it. And having said that, I have to tell you this much. I'm the most apt person to do a role on mentoring. Ask me why. Why? Okay. Because I've been married for 27 years to the same lady and have been regularly reprimanded, mentored. And my wife has done a very good job at it. And I don't think you'll ask me any more questions about why I can be a good trainer and mentor. Anita, do you agree with me? Anita mentors her husband very well. She knows that. Having said this, for those of you who have heard me before, you will come to understand I follow a certain pattern of doing my trainings. My trainings will be filled with anecdotes and some stories which I pick up from real life and some which interest me. And in between, I'll throw a few questions at you. You have the right to throw back a few questions at the fag end, and we can take it from there on. Okay. And all I see is such pretty faces, but only with photos. I see only 4 or 5 live videos. I guess all of you look nice. So why don't you come on with your, show me your faces. Let me see. A few did come. I don't mind the attire you're wearing. It's pretty okay. If the Bermudas below, we can't see. Okay, having said this, are we game to start our session on mentoring? Are we good? Okay. I hope it's not as difficult as it's going to be from what I see. Okay, you can unmute and shout out a bit. It's pretty okay. Subramania, welcome. Having said this, I was part of a series of Toastmasters clubs in Mahavir Jain College. For those of you who know, there are 9 clubs in Mahavir Jain College. One day, the coordinator calls me and tells, Kumaran sir, we have a girl who I believe is very good talent. I want her to take part in competitions. Will you be able to mentor? I said, all the pleasure, ma'am. I'll be able to do that. She hastened to add, sir, this girl is a bit of a rebel and difficult to handle. I think you're the best person for the job. Even Chaitra, the coordinator, knew I had been mentored at home. So I said, okay, please do send her. I did get a call from this girl whose name goes as Nehal. Nehal called me and said, I have been given your number. I've been asked to get mentored from you. My speech is ready. And I don't really think I needs mentoring, but anyway, I want to get mentored. I said, what a great way to start. Then she said, I will send you my speech. I said, can we meet in person? She said, I'll send you my speech. You take a look at it, then we'll think about meeting in person. I said, madam, okay. She sent me a speech. The speech was called Brick in the Wall. It mentioned about her travels in life and the encounters she faced with people. To give you a little background upon Nehal, Nehal was a student who wore bell-bottoms to college when bell-bottoms was not the fashion. She sported hair like Sai Baba and wore thick glasses. She considered that to be a fashion statement, and she gave a speech on how smoking is good for health. She told it gives employment to lakhs of people, contributes to the government coffers, and so people should smoke. When the evaluator asked her to repeat the speech, she had a big argument. Every time she will take part in a competition and she will lose at the club level, but she will keep on trying. With this background, I took a look at her speech. Then I said, Nehal, can you visit me? Then Nehal said, look, I'm a bit busy. Is it all right that you can come to college? The nerve of this girl. But I thought, why not? And I decided to visit Mahavijayan College. I had a talk with the girl. The speech, to be very frank with you, was very good. I made a few suggestions. Nehal won at the club level. Nehal calls me and tells, looks like you're a good mentor. What should I do next? I said, thank you, ma'am, for the compliments. I said, I gave a few more suggestions. She won at the area level. The next time she called me, there was a bit of hesitation in her voice. She said, sir, can I meet you? I said, madam, can I come to college? No, sir, I'll come and meet you. So Nehal came home. And this time, I didn't do anything with the speech, which was already good. I said, Nehal, you're so pretty. Why don't you, do away with the hairstyle and make your hairstyle a little more flowing? She hesitated. I said, Nehal, get rid of those glasses and why don't you wear contact lens or a thin frame glasses? She did this and she won at the division level. After this, Nehal was eating out of my hands. Nehal went on to come to the district finals. That time, the district was pan-India, not just Bangalore, not just Mangalore, not just Goa. And we had clubs from all over India coming, all over taking part. In this competition, she came to the finals and ultimately she was placed third. I lost track of Nehal for a year or two. And 2 years later, the college called me for a graduation ceremony to be a keynote speaker. I went there and there were lots of people sitting there. Some of the event was going on. I sat in the last row. Suddenly, someone starts running up to the stage, interrupts the MC, grabs a mic and says, Kumaran sir, welcome. You're the best thing that happened to me. And she said these phenomenal words, Matru Devo Bhava, Guru Devo Bhava. And she said, Mentor Devo Bhava. And to me, it was the best thing that happened in my life. To make someone who they are, to turn them from who they are not whom they are, was something I cherish, for the rest of my life. And from then on, mentoring has been something I have enjoyed doing. Every year, I have lost my patience. It just caught up, I guess. I mentor a few people. Many of my mentees have reached the district final. Many of them become champions. The point that I'm trying to make here is mentoring is not about touching the speech of the person. Mentoring is about finding out the true value, the inner core of a person. Having said this, let me ask you a few questions. From the story you heard about Nehal, what are the lessons you got? Either you can speak it out loud or put something on chat box. What's the take-home value about the story that I told about Nehal? Quickly. Children, say something. Chat box. I told you a story about Nehal. Trust your mentor. Lovely. Let me get my glasses. inculcated confidence. Listen to your mentor. Patience. Everyone has a unique style of mentoring. Sanita says, you're okay, but not the best. I'm kidding, Anita. Appearance has a point. Lovely. Body language. She got the confidence she needed. Okay, what's the take-home value for you as a mentor? What's the take-home value for you as a mentor? Perseverance, lovely. Reach out to your mentor. Humility, excellent.
Respect. Sir, it's respect.
Respect. Naina, your answer is right, but respect is not something that is given to someone because of his or her stature or her seniority. Respect is given. You earn your respect of the way you conduct yourself and the way they see in you. And someone put the most apt point, patience. I think all of you are right. Some of the attributes of being a good mentor is trust, perseverance, humility, waiting it out, knowing the other person more than they know themselves. Having said this, okay, let me ask you, what is the definition of a mentor? Quickly. Someone, what's the definition of a mentor? Someone who guides us, lovely. Any other answers? Torchbearer. Okay, quickly. I'll tell you a little story again. Abdul Kalam, probably the most revered president of India, was the one asked, who's your mentor? Now imagine someone like Abdul Kalam. I guess he wouldn't even had a mentor because he was so good, he was so great. Now, for those of you who know, Abdul Kalam worked at ISRO, and Satish Dhawan was his boss. Abdul Kalam was in charge of the satellite project, which was to be launched. It is called Soyuz, which was to be launched into the air, and I had to carry a payload of a different satellite. The press wrote about it, the world press wrote about it, everybody wrote about it, and Abdul Kalam worked day and night along with his team. On the day of the launch, the satellite went up in the air and landed safely into the Bay of Bengal. The press was baying for his blood. Abdul Kalam was so afraid to meet the press. He went and spoke to Satish Dhawan, sir, and he said, sir, can you come along with me? I want you to come and meet the press with me. Satish Dhawan said, you wait, I'll go. And Satish Dhawan went and met the press, and he said, together as a team, we did this, and I admit to my failure. A few months back, this time, the same satellite was again started to be reinvented at ISRO. After almost 2 years, the satellite was launched. The same press was waiting. The same gungo was there. The same noises were there. This time, the satellite was launched very successfully. Abdul Kalam went to Satish Dhawan and said, sir, the press is waiting. You know what Satish Dhawan said? This time, you go meet the press. So what's the inference you get from the story? The meaning of a mentor is here. What's the inference you get from the story? Go ahead, you can put it on chat box. What's the inference you get from the story of a mentor?
I think the mentor makes the mentee to shine and take the credit.
Lovely, you're bang on dot. A mentor is someone who owns the failure of the mentee and allows him to take the success of what he is doing. Neeta, can we share the PowerPoint, please, so they can take a look at it?
Sure, just give me a...
The next slide, please. A mentor is someone who is with you in your failure and lets you take charge of your success. Toastmasters, for those of you sitting there, if you can make this happen, it's not about how your mentee does, it's what you have done to yourself. Mentoring is the best thing that can happen to a human being at Toastmasters, believe me. Okay, let me, before I go to more Gyan, let me come to the next slide. Nita, can I have the next slide, please? Okay, hold on. Now you would answer this question. You should have only one mentor, true or false?
False.
False. Okay. Sindhu, what do you say?
False.
False. Okay, I'm going to ask you why false also. Why you should have only one mentor?
Yes.
Or why you should not have only one mentor? Okay, let me tell you this. It's advisable when you start your career at Toastmasters, it's better to have one mentor until you reach a certain level. In my time, it was Project 10, because someone can mold you. It's all right to seek feedback or ask someone to be a sounding board. Later, you can have more mentors. Initially, it's better to have only one mentor. Next one. Does a mentor have solution to all problems?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Let me tell you why. There is this very thin divide between a professional relationship as a mentor and a personal relationship. As we get on to becoming a mentor, we become friends, and we sometimes become more than a friend. We become an advisor or counselor. The danger there is, I was mentoring a student once, and he had become very close to me for 1 or 2 years. One day he comes home and tells me, "Sir, I'm in love with a girl. Will you be able to talk to her father?" Now the point is, this guy was a Hindu and the girl was a Mohammedan. I would have almost started Indo-Pak war. I told him, "Boss, leave me out of this." I said, "Please focus on your studies." So now all these sort of solution problems will come to you. Suddenly, if you become very comfortable, your job is probably to stick on to the role, to the speeches. Sometimes you see them going out of the way, you can advise them. But otherwise, it's good to have, be a mentor only for speeches. The next one. Mentor not needed, true or false?
False.
It's very easy to say false. You need help.
No, we need the mentor. Sorry. Mentor is needed. Sorry.
Mentor is not needed. There are many people who won at the world level without a mentor. How's that? Okay. Let me tell you one more little anecdote. A boy goes to a shop along with his mother. He's a young kid. As he gets into the shop, the shopkeeper tells, "Why don't you take some chocolates?" The boy tells, "I don't need chocolates." The mother is very proud. "Arey Baba, my son says he does not want chocolates." And the mother says, "Why don't you take some chocolate?" "Mama, I don't want chocolates." The mother is glowing with pride. As they come out, the shopkeeper again asks the boy, "Why don't you take some chocolates?" He says, "I don't want chocolate." Then the shopkeeper does them. He puts his hands into the jar of chocolate, into the jar bottle, and gives out a fistful of chocolates. The boy grabs the chocolate and takes it. As they're walking home, the mother's a bit perplexed. When we went inside, the shopkeeper asked, "I asked you, you said you do not want chocolates. But coming back, the shopkeeper asked, you said you do not want chocolates. But when he gave you a fistful of chocolates, you took it. Why is that?" The boy says, "Mama, my hands are small. The shopkeeper hands are big. When he gives me, I get more chocolates." The mentee is someone who gives you more chocolates for speeches. The chocolates are the nuggets, the wisdom, the inputs they give. So it's good to have a mentor. Are we clear? Are we good? Good. The next one. Okay, true or false? Should be older or wiser than you?
False.
Who says it's true? How many of you sitting here, say you're in your 40s or 50s, will go to someone who's 20 years old? They may be customers for 2-3 years. How many of you will go to a person who's 20 years old and you are 30 plus or 40 plus? Will you go there? I'm asking.
Yes, I will.
Good.
I'll go to my kids to learn about the latest inventions.
Okay, I've recorded your answer.
No worries.
Mr. Matthews. Okay, the reason is, it's not necessary that the mentor should be older or wiser than you. Wisdom comes not from what you have learned outside the box of Toastmasters. For a communication platform, wisdom comes from within the Toastmaster platform. If someone has been there before, they probably have more knowledge than you. Into the gambit of communication skills, voice modulation, and body language. I still remember two of my mentees, which I keep on repeating. One is Dr. Chaya Nair. She's a gold medalist in MBBS. And my other mentor is T.K. Ramesh, who's BITS Pilani and I am. I'm a 50% graduate throughout my life. They both come to me for mentoring. Probably they see something in me. Probably there's something that they can tap out of me, and I'm very proud of it. So it not necessarily mean that a mentor should be older or wiser than you. Okay, these are some of the facets you should know about mentoring. How much time have I taken, Neeta? You need to tell me. I have not touched the green card still. Good.
We are at 18 minutes.
Lovely.
So we have till 25 minutes the green card.
Okay. Can you roll, please? Okay, there are two types of mentors. Actually, there's one. Okay, there are two types of mentor. One is called a tormentor. The other is called an augmentor. A tormentor is a person who's generally someone who's retired in life or has been, no offense meant to people here, who's been a professor, a lecturer in college, or someone who's been bossing people throughout his life, and they join the club. Their job is they expect people to come to them. They expect the speech to be written perfectly. And when they make mistakes, they say, what sort of speech have you written? And they'll ask them, Wes, have you gone through the guidelines? Can you give me a copy of it? And they torment you. The point is, you do not wish to go to such a person. And I don't want you to be a tormentor. The question is, I know for most of sitting here who wants to be a mentor, the speeches, if the club meets on Saturday, generally will come on Friday. There'll be a call of apology on Thursday saying, I have a bit of my script, can I send it to you? And the bit of script will be 100 words for a 700-word speech. And you're going to be pretty annoyed. It's all right to put some systems in place, but how do we handle this? Look, you have sent your speech a bit late. I'm unable to do this. How can I help you? What's that's bothering you? Probably this person does not have a script, does not have a topic. So if I were you, if I'm assigned a mentor, I'll send them a message. I'll pick up the phone and talk to them and say, hey, are you ready for the speech? We have a week's time. And this person normally says, I do not have a topic in mind. That's just a topic you have. Or the best thing, what I have done is, I have a chat with them. I take it from the school days to the time they are now. A minimum 20 years is someone we generally meet, and this kid would be in college. In 20 years and then 20 minutes of talk, I'll have got 20 speeches out of them. And when I suggest topics, are so delightful. So the more you talk to your mentee, the more speeches come. You are a guide. You are someone who makes that person better. So it's not to be an augmentor, a tormentor. You have to be an augmentor. An augmentor is a person who takes a mentee from one place to a place he's never gone before. To take him from a platform where he's been seated to a place he wishes to go, to a place he's never gone before, to a platform which is so good that is going to become a different person. Am I clear here? Do you have any thoughts on this? Any confusion, any clarity you seek? Please ask me, or you can type it out. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, what does an augmenter has to do? First, be a good listener. I know how this works. Generally, when this person starts his speech and we interrupt. We put in our own word. Yeah, I know this. Yeah, Kerala, no, I know Kerala. Yeah, I know Bombay and all that. Oh, this speech, you Googled up, I know all this. So the moment you tell this, gone. The more you listen, the more thoughts come to your mind. How to help this person. Believe me, I became a reasonably good trainer, a good speaker, not when I was being mentored, when I started mentoring people. Because some of my mentees used to come up with thoughts which I never could think in my life. And when I made it better, my thought process became better. The second thing is very important. If you're on project 3 and a mentee is on project 6, please, for heaven's sake, don't lose face. At least you be ahead of the mentee. Walk the talk. First, you give speeches if you're part of a club. Then at least the respect, what Naina spoke about, respect comes when you walk the talk. The next one, Neeta. Can you hear me? Am I being too fast? You have to give me this feedback. Is my voice clear enough to you? My wife always tells me I speak very fast. That's not the case. She's lying. I'll convey the message. Okay. Next thing I told you, guides from comfort zone to magic zone. There are 2-3 types of people who walk into a club, and you have noticed them. Someone come from a convent education. The English is good. They've already spoken at various platforms in the convent classes. They really don't need mentoring for language or standing up on stage or delivering a good speech. There's a second set of person who comes whose English is not great, whose confidence skills are down, but he or she is very determined. Get hold of that person. Seek him out. Talk to him. Tell, how can I help you? Believe me, the best job you'll do in your life is to turn them around. And the best mentee are those people. I'm not talking about those first lot that they're already good. They're in the 50-60% range. But getting the second set of people from the 30 to 60% is a great job. So guide them from the comfort zone to the magic zone. Sit in the front row when they're talking, nod your head. If they miss the line, don't tell the line to them. They'll forget the next line also. Clap, acknowledge. And when they finish a speech, talk to them and tell them how well you did. Okay. Next, Neeta, can we go ahead? Share some case. I think I've explained what sharing and caring means for my talk now. Okay. What are the attributes? Keenness to listen, trust in each other. The third thing I will cover, I had a mentee called Jaisim who joined a club I was part of called Sunshine Toastmasters. Now, Jaisim was a lieutenant in the Air Force. He had come here to join because he's from Andhra and he wanted to cultivate good English and wanted to give good speeches. Being Andhra guy, he could anyway speak. He could speak non-stop. Jaisim came, started giving speeches. He really flourished well. One day Jaisim comes to me and tells, "Sir, I'm quitting my job and I want to become a trainer." I had the biggest heart attack of my life. I said, "Jaisim, you're a squadron leader." "No, sir, I think I've done enough." And he went ahead and quit his job. Jaisim struggled a lot to become a trainer. But the end of the story today is, Jaisim has written 7 books on communication skills. He's hosted TV shows. And he holds umpteen Guinness Book of World Records. And I don't take credit for it. The point is, at least in your speeches, if someone wants to take a risk, to give a speech which is out of the comfort zone, to give a topic that you're not comfortable with. There's a girl who wanted to speak about a living relationship. Even though I was not too comfortable, I asked her to go ahead. There's a girl who wanted to speak about a father being a cop and said, everybody is corrupt. And so is probably my dad too. But she told one very apt line, if there's no cop on the road at 10 o'clock in the night, how are you safe to walk out? Do not, judge everybody by the looks. That's a very lovely speech. So these sort of speeches come to you. They're going to be little controversial speeches. But if you can frame it in the kind of form, give them a chance to speak. Okay. Next slide, please. I think you should take a photo shot of this, or I'll ask Nita to share this with you. What I generally recommend for the first thing is a speech a month is a great way to start a project. A speech a month is very easy. And ask these mentees to read the project guidelines. Because the more they read the project guidelines, the more you become self-aware of what you have to do for a speech. And discussing the topic of the speech, give them ideas. Give them ideas. There's so much of ideas that you actually see. A mentee normally, in fact, what do I tell my mentees is, come with a single word. The rest I'll do for you. If you have a single word, the rest I'll do for you. The way I would write my speeches, I would think about what topic to write about. I will write a few words of what I know. I will leave it and go to sleep. The next day morning I get up. I will get some ideas. Thoughts, I will just make 1, 2, 3, 4 thoughts on that speech. Later I expand those thoughts. And when I reach out to my mentor, I would get more ideas. Okay. Look into the feedback of previous evaluations. Accept possible corrections. Prepare the speech. Memorize initial days, very important because they need to get confident. And I suggest practicing. I remember my early days, I would practice my speech 20 times. It's very easy. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once in the evening. Once I drive my car, I would practice my speech. When I'm sitting in the loo, I would practice my speech. When I come back the night, I would practice my speech. Divide that into 7 days, 21 times. You are going to kick butts. 21 times is a great way to rehearse a speech. Actually do 10 times, you're going to feel the best person. And the most important things, after the speech is given, discuss the feedback, the evaluation has been given with your mentee. Make him or her feel good. Look at the area of improvement that has been given. If they're not correct, scrap it. If they are good, incorporate it into the next speech. You can go to the next slide, please. Yeah, you can click. Now, what do you think is a possible number you can have as mentees? You can type in. Nita says 3. Bhagya madam, how many mentees can you have? For me, only 1. Okay. You better make that one person a world champion. Mr. Matthews, how many people do you think can you handle?
I'm remotely new, but maximum 2, not more than that.
Yeah. Subramani, how many mentees can you handle?
Sir, maximum 2 or 3 at a time, sir. Sometimes most of them may not be active at the same time. So at a time, the interaction will be only with one mentee.
A maximum of 3, I think, is good enough, and I don't want it to have more because you will tell this part of the speech to the other person, and the other part of the speech will go to another speech. You want to get confused? 3 mentees are good, not more. Generally, when they come with the idea, allow the thoughts to flow. Nita, next one, please. Sometimes the English is not good. Sometimes the dialect is not good. Some people from Bihar speak in a certain dialect. Some people from Assam speak in a certain dialect. Some people from Kerala speak in a certain dialect. Do not disrespect that. Allow them to slowly change. It's a mother tongue influence. I have a mother tongue influence. Allow that to change and slowly let it go on. And do not put them down. Never ever compare one mentee with another. Start fresh. The page is fresh. And while talking, do not compare. If you have 2 children at home, we have a habit of comparing. One child doesn't like it at all. So do not compare one mentee to another. Okay? And can you play this the video, please, Nika? With some volume.
Just give me a minute. I'm resharing the screen with volume.
If it's not possible, skip it. I have no issue.
Is my screen visible?
Should turn like that. Do not fall in love with your mentees. The speech should turn like that. Thank you. Read these lovely lines which I read somewhere. I cannot do all the good that the world needs. The world needs all the good I can do. That's a mentor. Toastmasters, the most lovely job that you can do to make a difference to people is being a mentor. Believe me, it is self-fulfilling. Be a good mentor and God will be with you. With that, I can take questions and you can tell me when I have to stop. If you have questions, you can ask or you can put it on the chat and I'll go there.
Can I ask? Can I ask, sir? Yeah.
Go ahead.
So one of my mentees, she sent a script and script was too good. And then she delivered the speech also.
Okay.
So when I heard the speech, I said, I'm not impressed. She said, what's wrong? I said, the content is there, delivery is there, but I didn't see you. Was it right or did I make something wrong?
No, that was the impression of the mentee. Am I right?
Mine. I told her, your speech may have good content or delivery, but also I should feel the you in your speech.
Madam, it's so nice to give an advice, but I don't know where this came from. If you want the girl to feel or the guy to feel him or her in her speech, the onus is on me as a mentor. And when I tell them that feedback, probably if you tell me this feedback, I don't know how to incorporate it. So I will tell them how to get it incorporated. Okay. So if you could make that change to the person, then the job is done. I can tell them, it's not telling them what to do, show them how to do it. That should be, I think, how you should do it. Okay. Any other questions, please? Please go ahead.
Bhagya Sharma, can I ask a question?
Please, ma'am, please.
Is a mentor expecting a mentee acknowledging the help received from a mentor? Is it right or wrong?
Madam is right, madam. Nothing wrong about it. They put in so much of efforts and all they need to say thank you. And I think it's a show of gratitude. I will do a job in the hope that this person becomes better. I will do a job, not expect anything in return. It's left to the mentee to express his or that. As Indians, gratitude is a way of life for us. When people come home, we treat them so well, we draw out and serve them food and all that. Generally, if this person does not express his or her gratitude 2-3 times, there's something he or she has to be tapped into. Maybe they don't know how to do it. Maybe they come from a background which is difficult. Maybe they're not being told to say thank you in their entire life. So I would tap that resource and see how I can make them instead of feeling disappointed about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please ask me a few more questions. Nita is going to boot me out. It's a matter of time. Subramani, yes?
Sir. Sir, what can you do to inspire or motivate a mentee who is super lazy or lethargic?
Are you talking about me by any chance?
No, sir.
Okay. See, laziness is not an attribute. Laziness is an excuse. Laziness comes because they don't have anything to write in the script. And let me tell you, out of every possible 3 mentees you have, 2.9 mentees will be lazy. The 0.1 will be something is good. And you're going to get frustrated. But I'll ask you to try. I would pick up this phone and ask him, how can I help you? And we actually humans, we're going to get frustrated. Sometimes we're going to shout at them. The point is, if you persist enough, if 2 people may still leave the club, so 2 people will never write a speech. And but if you persist with 1 person, somewhere that 1% change you can make it happen. Inspiring them is probably send them a good video. Inspiring them is sending a good message in the morning. Inspiring them is picking up the phone and sending a nice emoji. To do your best. Why am I telling you this? How we treat a mentee is how we treat people around us. How we treat a mentee is how we expect to be treated in return. And I'm telling you this because we become a better human being in the process. The more important thing is how we can become a better human being in the process of making them a better person. This is my answer to you. I think Nita says red. I'll take one more last question for anybody who's interested in asking.
Thank you, sir.
I have a question, Kumaran. So Ajay here.
Ajay, tell me.
Yeah. So I have a very fundamental question. So basically, selection of a mentor, how it should be done for a mentee. Basically, if I have a goal of a humorous speech or basically development of presentation mastery. So how should I select a mentor? Because not there cannot be like a like one-to-one mapping. Like basically, this is the mentor for this path or pathway. So how
you're right, Mr. Ajay. What a question. There's no Mr. No at all. What I would suggest is we have a subject expert. For every subject, there's an expert. For example, if you look at our cricket team, there's a batting coach, there's a fielding coach, there's a bowling coach, and all that. Because that person is a subject expert in the matter. While you can still retain your current mentor, it would be good that you could take his opinion and his consent and move on to a person who, for example, for a humorous speech, you can go to a person who has won the championship or has been a finalist, who is a good mentor in that. For presentation skills, if someone's pretty good, they may be younger than you, it's good to go to them. I think it's all right to go to a person. While retaining the existing mentor, you can go to the person for that particular speech and come back.
Okay, but like the subject experts, where are they? Like, how can I find them, or is it?
You have to look around into your club and ask questions to the senior people who will tell you. If you're still not able to find, you can reach out to your area director or to the district, or post it on the Facebook or other groups. Someone will help you out. Definitely.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My time has run out. I have done what I know about mentoring. I feel I have been sincere in what I have done. Always more to learn. The questions gave me food for thought. Some of them I thought, hey, one more good question. And I hope you had a good time listening to me. And if you think I have done a good job, please unmute and please clap for heaven's sake. I said you had an option. Thank you so much. Ita, thank you for being such a lovely host. Industry, your smile rocks.
Thank you, DTM, Kumaran, Pethi. It was a wonderful session. I hope my mentor is in the session and listen to your entire presentation, because the last time I gave my speech was 3-4 months back. So hopefully someone motivates me and encourages me to give an amazing speech, because I love being on stage. And but it was an amazing. I hope everyone had a beautiful takeaways, and thank you for encouraging and motivating us and giving us a beautiful takebacks and learnings, whatever were your skills and expertise. I request everyone in the audience to give a big round of applause to our DTM Kumaran Pethi for handling the session so beautifully. With this, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the top 8. We have the division directors, we have the area directors, and we have a lot of dignitaries joining. And thank you so much for making it to the session.